It's another amazing day in paradise. Today is Monday, October 14th, 2022. My name is Cara Lynn Sanders, also known by my superhero name of Momma, and I have submitted my papers to become the next mayor of Raleigh. And I am running as a write-in candidate, which means that my name is not on the ballot. You will have to write it in on the ballot in order for me to get your vote. I wanted to take a moment to tell you how I got to this place, because this has been a journey of 2 years. I didn't just pop up and boop, here we go, because I don't remember the last time I voted, to be honest with you. It wasn't important to me. Why would I choose between the candidates that neither one served my purposes or had my interest in mind? And so 2 years ago, about 2 weeks before the election, God was like, Raleigh doesn't need a new mayor. They need a matriarch. And I was like, what? I know you're not trying to tell me to run. But being obedient, I looked into it and I found out I couldn't run at that time. And I was okay with that because I didn't want to. And I wasn't planning on it ever. But it's amazing what God will do to prepare you for the assignment that He has for you. And I need to take a minute just to give all praise and glory to my God, the God that I serve, and just thank Him for this experience that I'm in right now. But continuing forward, it was at the beginning of this year that I really kept contemplating the reminder of Raleigh needs a matriarch. Raleigh, that mantra just kept running through my head. Raleigh needs a matriarch. Raleigh needs a matriarch. So I started looking at the city through the eyes of a mom. And so the first thing that came to mind of three was that if I looked at Raleigh as my family, then I would see people who are like me, I had family. I had people I could reach out to. I had an instant community. I had bonus moms and dad, bonus grandmas and grandpas. I had bonus brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, aunt and uncles, and so on and so forth. I think that covers pretty much everybody, right? And so I am so grateful for that perspective because it makes me look at people differently. But I also, with a more loving and welcoming, and I want to clarify what differently means, with a more loving and caring and compassionate, very compassionate sense. The second thing that I had to admit was that if I was looking at this looking at us as a family, is that all families have dysfunction. Let's not pretend that everybody has a perfect family, because we know that regardless of what culture you're from, there's going to be dysfunction. And so in admitting that dysfunction, I was like, well, you know what? In dysfunctional families, we always know there's going to be those who are struggling. There's going to be those who get it, who thrive, who got what they needed or found it somewhere else. But we have people who are struggling. And so any good mom would make sure that she taps in with those who are thriving to continue to know that they're supported, but she would focus on those who are struggling. And from my perspective, those who are struggling in our community right now are parents and children. Children as a focus, but if you focus on the children without focusing on the parents, then you're not doing any good. And that's not helping anybody. And the vast majority of our community is families. So we need to focus on them. The second community that came to mind is our elders, especially those on a fixed income. And the third group that came to mind was the unhoused, a community that I am a part of with my young Black male superhero. And so without focusing on those three groups, we have created a sincere imbalance, a very apparent imbalance in who our community is serving. And that needs to stop. And that's why I'm stepping up to the plate, because people like me don't generally have a place at the table. We don't get involved in the conversations. And when we do, we don't want to be heard, but we're the ones with the solutions because we know what the problems are. And so I'm stepping up into this space to say, it's time for everybody to have an opportunity, because there's enough in this world for everybody to thrive without taking anything from anybody else. And I'm willing to say that, and I'm willing to prove it. And so I'm running for a writing candidate of mayor. What you will find in my content are books that I read to my son, that I've read with my son, because that is teaching him the world that we live in, or that we want to live in. And so that's the world I'm creating. You will also find my thoughts on every subject under the sun that I've had an opportunity to come in contact with on this journey, because I'm not just in this community, but I'm engaged with the community. I'm not expecting our government to be engaged with me. I'm engaging myself with the community, with the government. And so you'll find some of the things that I've experienced, some of the things that I've learned, and some of the solutions that have come into my spirit that we can implement easily without causing more people burden. And so I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you for checking this out. I hope you enjoy what you find, and let's do this. Let's make history. My earrings say I am Black history. They're getting old. They're so old, but I'm not just Black history. I am American history, and I will make American history when I become the first Black female unhoused mayor of Raleigh, North Carolina. Thank you so much in advance for your support, continued success in whatever you're doing. And let's do this. Enjoy the amazing day you're creating, and stay tuned. Please check out the rest of the content. Peace.